Women love older men because they are rich. Perhaps that's the first thing you thought, but it's not quite accurate. More precisely, it's not entirely true. In relationships where money plays a significant role, a woman will not be happy with a man, just as a man will not be happy with such a woman. She will not be soulful in these relationships with the man. They will live like neighbors. Very often, women do not find in men the character traits they need. By the way, in one of my previous videos, I talk about the character traits that women love most in men. A hint to the video is in the top right corner. In this video, I will tell you why older men are so attractive to women. Let's begin. Number 1. Experience and confidence. Older men are more mature and experienced. They are more experienced and self-assured. They know what they want from life and relationships and are not afraid to make decisions. They don't need constant validation and are not dependent on others' opinions. They can communicate, listen, give advice, and provide support. For young women who often struggle with uncertainty and doubt, such men can be attractive as they can help them unlock their potential and boost self-esteem. The maturity of older men is evident in their behavior, character, and worldview. They are calmer, thoughtful, self-assured, and responsible. They have been through a lot in life, carrying a certain life baggage. Intellectual maturity. Older men have a broader outlook and life experience. They can offer valuable advice and help young women navigate life. Moral maturity. Older men have more stable moral principles and values. They can be reliable partners and a support for young women. What life experience can be interesting for young women? Young women often seek maturity and wisdom in a partner. They want a man who can help them understand life, provide support, and offer advice. The life experience of older men can be very intriguing to young women as it allows them to learn about the world, people, and themselves. An older man can calmly and wisely solve complex problems. He can give valuable career advice, relationship insights, or guidance on various issues. He can be a reliable partner and support for young women. For example, an older man can help a young woman find a job or advance in her career. He can offer parenting advice or help solve family problems. He can simply be there and support her in tough times. Of course, not all older men are mature and experienced, but overall, the maturity of older men can be very appealing to young women. Number 2. Maturity and stability. Older men are more mature and stable, emotionally and financially. They are not prone to childish behavior and casual relationships. Instead, they seek harmony and agreement. They do not seek adventures and risks but value comfort and security. They don't spend money on frivolities but invest in the future. For young women who want a reliable and responsible partner, such men can be attractive as they can provide a cozy home and a peaceful life. How does wisdom manifest in older men? Wisdom is a complex quality that manifests in various aspects of life. A wise man knows how to listen, not interrupt, and not impose his opinion. He appreciates different points of view and finds compromises. A wise man can make difficult decisions, considering all possible consequences. He learns from his mistakes and doesn't repeat them. A wise man can solve problems and support his family in tough times. Here are a few specific examples of men's wisdom. A man who remains composed and makes thoughtful decisions in a challenging situation. Of course, not all older men possess wisdom. However, if a young woman is fortunate enough to encounter a wise man, she can gain much from such a relationship. Number 3. Intelligence and education. Older men are more intellectual and educated than their younger counterparts. They have rich life and professional experience, making them interesting conversationalists and partners. They can share their knowledge and wisdom and teach something new. They are constantly evolving and never stop learning. For young women who value intellect and education, such men can be attractive as they can stimulate their minds and broaden their horizons. Number 4. Know the art of romance. Older men are often more romantic. Romanticism in older men manifests in their behavior, words, and actions. They are more imaginative and creative in expressing their feelings. They are not afraid to give compliments, gifts, and organize romantic dates. Older men are more sensitive and emotional. They are not afraid to express their feelings to a woman. Older men are more creative and inventive. They can come up with unusual and romantic ways to express their feelings. What can a romantic man offer to a young woman? A sense of love and care. Enjoyment of romantic dates. Unforgettable experiences. Of course, not all older men are romantic, but overall, romanticism can be a very appealing trait for young women. Here are a few specific examples of men's romanticism. A man who always remembers important dates and gives gifts. A man who always takes care of his woman and makes her happy. A man who is always ready to support his woman and help her in difficult times. Romanticism is an important quality for a man that can make relationships happier and more harmonious. Number 5. Calm and thoughtful. How does calmness and thoughtfulness manifest in older men? Older men are more responsible and disciplined. They can make complex decisions and take responsibility. Older men are more caring and attentive to their loved ones. They can solve problems and support the family in difficult times. A few specific examples of men's calmness and thoughtfulness. A man who remains composed and makes thoughtful decisions in a challenging situation. A man who does not succumb to emotions. A man who knows how to forgive and does not hold a grudge. Young women appreciate calmness and thoughtfulness in men for several reasons. Calmness and thoughtfulness indicate maturity and wisdom, which are crucial for relationships. Calmness and thoughtfulness make a man more attractive. Young women often find men who do not succumb to emotions and always maintain composure more masculine and appealing. Of course, not all older men possess calmness and thoughtfulness. However, these qualities are undoubtedly important for many young women. Number 6. Career success. Older men are often more successful in their careers. Men who have achieved success in their careers usually have a stable income and a good social standing. This can be very attractive to a young woman who wants to take care of herself and her family. He can provide a young woman with a sense of security and stability. Men who have achieved success in their careers are usually more confident and reliable. Men who have achieved success in their careers are usually ambitious and successful individuals. They can give a young woman the opportunity to grow and develop alongside them. Of course, not all older men are successful in their careers, but overall, career success can be very attractive to young women. Number 7. Independence. How does independence manifest in older men? Independence is the ability of a person to make decisions and act according to their convictions independently. In older men, independence manifests in various aspects of life. An independent man can independently build his career and achieve set goals. He is not dependent on other people or circumstances. An independent man can independently provide for himself and his family. He is not reliant on financial assistance from others. An independent man can build healthy and equal relationships. He is not dependent on the opinions of others and does not try to control his partner. Here are a few specific examples of men's independence. A man who is not afraid to take risks and go against the opinions of others. A man who can make decisions independently and not rely on others. A man who can take care of himself and his family without the help of others. Of course, not all young women seek relationships with independent men. Some women prefer men who are more family-oriented and willing to sacrifice their interests for the sake of the relationship. However, for many young women, independence is an important quality that they value in men. Number 8. Interesting conversationalists. The ability to engage in interesting conversations is manifested in various aspects for older men. Older men typically have broader knowledge and experience than younger individuals. They can share many interesting insights into various aspects of life. Older men usually know how to listen to a conversation partner and sustain a discussion. They do not interrupt, impose their opinions, or try to dominate the conversation. Older men typically know how to ask interesting questions that make the conversation partner ponder and express their opinions. Of course, not all young women seek relationships with interesting conversationalists. Some women prefer men who are more romantic and passionate. However, for many young women, the ability to engage in interesting conversations is an important quality that they value in men.